One, go. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Tom here, your host at The Convo, where we talk about business and how it's evolving into the digital world and how the digital world is very much a part of business nowadays. So you could be a hot dog stand, or you could be an online marketer, or you could be a restaurant. Whatever it is that you're doing, you need an online component now. You need to have a digital element or compartment in your business. So, as you know, I interview a lot of really cool and rad people. Today, I am joined by a really cool guy. He's a father of 3, husband of 1. That is on paper. He surfs a lot, and he coaches a lot of people on sales. Let's just say he unstucks the stuck. With me today is the very handsome, very dashing Adam Sowden, man. What's up, Adam?
Not a lot, mate. That's the most beautiful intro I think I've had. Very handsome and dashing. It's not often that. Well, I was going to say it's not often I hear that, but that's not true. But thank you, Tommy. It's great to be here.
After that intro, I bet you want to hear yourself talk.
Yeah. I'll be re-listening to this podcast later.
Well, so Adam, you know, on this podcast, we just talk about, you know, stuff under that realm of business and the digital life now.
Yep.
And then towards the end, we ask you for one powerful tip and give you some time to do a little bit of a shameless plug, and then shout outs to people that, you know, matter to you, the people you want to shout out to. So
fantastic.
We're just going to start it off like this, man. Tell us something quirky about yourself.
Something quirky. That's a great question. I think something quirky about me is I have an extreme gift of laziness. I think we were discussing this before. You know, not often people think of laziness as a gift, but it's probably because I just have had an inability to fit into a normal job situation or work for other people. Like, you know, when I was younger, I just could never understand how people could get up and go to work every day in something they didn't want to do. And you know, I'd say it's a gift of laziness. It's that gift of that complete inability to, you know, do something I don't like doing has become a gift. So
well, it kind of sounds funny while you're saying it, but I have read a quote somewhere that lazy people, man, if there's anything that they're good at, it's finding the path of least resistance. I mean, you find the fastest, most effective way to get from point A to point B. And,
exactly.
And the motivation is because I want to lie down. I just want to, you know, I want to lie down and wait for the fruit, you know?
Yeah, it's not that I want to lie down. It's just that I just want to do interesting stuff, and I want the fastest way and the best way to spend more time doing that interesting stuff. Whether it's surfing or whether it's doing jiu-jitsu or whether it's hanging out with people or you know, hanging out with my family. It's I'd rather be doing that.
And it's interesting because that gift has now translated itself into kind of what you do and kind of what you share, you teach, you deliver for other people. Tell me about this, man. You know, I introduced you as somebody who unstucks the stuck, and it's usually, you know, it's of course in relation to sales. What do you do around it? Do you provide strategy? I want to let people know what it is that you kind of do.
Yeah. So there's nowadays with internet marketing and with business development, it's quite a big industry, as you know. And there's a lot of strategies and there's a lot of things you can be doing. And what I've found with most people is most people either have the wrong model, the wrong approach to sales, or they have an approach that's either just not engineered correctly. And there's two main things that determine this. There's actually one crucial thing that determines the success of a campaign, and that is just firstly whether people want what I'm offering, and secondly, if they want what I'm offering but they're not opting into my funnel or not buying from me, then I haven't articulated it in a way that they appreciate it. So 90% of success or failure in any business, especially consulting and especially coaching, is the articulation of what you do. And a lot of people, have really good stuff, but they just are really crap at selling it. Like they don't know how to explain it in a way that becomes appealing. So firstly, I suppose my first gift or service is to help people actually present an offer that people want to buy. That's the first thing. How do we package, the offer so that it actually sounds appealing and irresistible? That's the first thing. And then the second thing is, well, how do we engineer the process to go from, I don't know them to they're my client with as little effort on your behalf and as little effort on the client's behalf as possible. So, I suppose, that's where the gift of laziness comes in, is how do we make it easy for everyone to get what they want quickly without all the unnecessary steps in the process?
And we were talking about, this exact thing the other day. And you mentioned, or not the other day, but last week, you did mention that, what you said that you were doing was to, basically help them kind of clarify their brand, or at least the gift wrapper to the gift.
Yep.
So that I'd even just pay attention to it, and be drawn to it. It's the articulation of what they do. But do you also actually build stuff for people? Do you get to, do you go as far as building stuff for people, or do you just recommend and give them strategy, give them a roadmap, or do you actually build the road?
No, it's both. So our service is we teach people, but we also do it for them. Assuming, depending on who they are. It depends. Some people want to learn, some people just want it done for them. So it's both. Within reason. So we don't work with any person. They've got to be a specific type of person that we can guarantee a result for.
Okay, cool. But this whole thing about coaching and digital marketing, it's like religion, man. Everybody's got their own dogma, their own whatever, their own style, their own strategy. And so I'm sure that there are people here needing advice. That's what I deal with. As in my business, that's what I deal with. They keep looking for people to give them advice or strategy. Because we don't do strategy, we do execution. So I'm always fronted by that question. Do you know anyone that provides strategy? And I know a bunch of you guys. So to somebody who would be looking for someone else to provide strategy, how would you go about it, man? What would you tell a person if they ask you, Adam, who do I speak to, man? What kind of person should I be talking to in terms of getting my strategy?
Dude, well, if we take it a step back, let's look at who you shouldn't be talking to first. And so who you shouldn't be talking to is if someone, before you even look for someone to help you with strategy, you need to identify what is it that I particularly want. Now, a lot of people, you were talking about religion before, and my view on the religion of digital marketing is that you've got to find like there's multiple strategies, there's 1,000 million ways you can do it, but you need to identify, like, firstly, before we even ask for advice, is what do I want this business to do? Because what you'll find is a lot of people will give you advice. They'll tell you, what my religion's right and this is the best way to do things, but their business might be right for them, not for you. So personally, like, I've got a lot of mates who are in this business who have great businesses. They've got lots of clients. They're generating millions of dollars. But I just don't like their model. Like, their model's great for them, but it's not right for me. So before you look for someone to teach you, you've got to figure out what it is exactly that you want out of it. And so if, like, for me, I'm not looking for an empire. I want to generate my 7 figures, but I want to be able to train jiu-jitsu every day, and I want to be able to surf every day, and I want to, my goal is maximum 4 hours a day, on a busy day. So I need to identify who's going to give me that because if I just go and look for someone, they'll try and sell me on their model. Whereas I need to know what I want the model to do first. And I suppose this is the major premise that I teach people, is that the model determines the income, and the model determines how much time you have to spend building it. So you're looking for people to teach you a model as opposed to digital marketing. Like, if you just go and start learning digital marketing, you'll learn 1,000 different things that don't necessarily generate you a productive outcome. So, that's my main thing. Before you even look for a teacher, you've got to understand what it is that you want them to teach you, what's the model, and then are they doing it? Identify someone who's doing it similar to you.
When the student is ready, the master will come. Oh, snap.
That's right. That was clever. I like how you did that. That was almost religious.
Well, so yeah, I guess the challenge is when they don't even know, when they don't even know what they want. Mm-hmm. Or worse, maybe they don't even know who they are. You know what I mean? Because it's always like you need to know who you are. Identity comes before activity, they say, right? So like you need to know who you are so that you know who you would be speaking to, and then get somebody to coach you on the fastest way to get there.
Yeah, I've got a criteria that I go through. I establish a goal. I go, I want this thing. Whatever it is, it might be to make $100,000. And then that's the first question. So I want it. And then the second question I ask is, am I willing to suffer for it? Or more importantly, how much am I willing to suffer for it? And I think a lot of people, set goals, but as soon as it becomes a challenge, they tap out and I don't want this anymore. And I see that a lot. And usually that's because they haven't decided on the goal first, if that makes sense. No matter what anyone says, digital marketing isn't easy. If they're going to tell you it's easy, they're full of shit. Because it might be easy, but you've got to go through that learning curve to get there. If you're not techie, then you need help with tech, or you need someone like you, a team like you guys, to support that. But I mean, even Carve, you guys do a great job. But if people don't know what they want, I mean, there's no way Carve can help you. If someone turns up and says, "Hey, Tommy, mate, can you help me build this thing that I don't know what I want?" and you're like, being polite like you are, you'll probably go, "Yeah, I'll try and help you," but you've got to be clear on what it is that you want and establish that before you look for your teacher.
Tell me about it, man. I had one person come in and said that, I want to build something like this, and of course I went through my whole discovery thing, and I said, okay, so can I get your email, because you kind of found me on Skype or Facebook or something. And she's like, oh, you're gonna need to help me set up my email. I'm like, okay, we're in trouble now. We are in trouble, Houston. We have a problem here, Houston. Yeah. I mean, because I just knew that it would be, twice as hard if, this person hasn't even figured out that she needed email. She doesn't even have email, and that's like a fundamental thing. So tell me this, man. Like the strategies that you help people on, are they mostly abstract, or do you concretize them in a sense that you actually tell them, look, we've already talked about the principle in the context of what we're trying to do. Here are the tools that you're going to need, and here are the steps that you're going to need to take, and here's the stuff that you need to put in to make this thing kind of work. Do you go as far as that, or what level do you kind of get involved or teach?
So we've got very specific steps that we do, and I think this is part of our my business's point of differentiation. There's nothing that we teach is theory. It's all stuff that's being tested by myself and my team. So to produce as like maximum return on effort. And so everything we teach is it's specific. So you can go to educators who'll teach you every strategy you could possibly know around every platform, whereas like we're just teaching what we're doing now and how it works, and specifically this is the process. And so I think my approach has been like a minimalist. Like people need to. What are the fundamental things people need to generate a profit? And then once you've got a profit, what is the fundamental next step to increase that return on effort? And then what is the next step to decrease the amount of time that goes in place? So it's very, I find it very specific. As far as I'm concerned, I don't feel I've done my job if people come away with excited about ideas but without implementing anything. So action, getting stuff done and getting stuff implemented and getting a return is far more important than concepts and ideas and big picture, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, because a person goes through scaffolds in their mind, and there's a lot of value. There's a lot of value in just big picture stuff, concepts, feel good things, or perspective things, paradigm things. But there's also, it depends on where you are, I guess. It depends on what you currently need, and so I was asking that because some people just, I'm going to do my own thing. I'll figure it out on my own. I like the concept, but don't give me the map. I don't need it. But there's some people also who need the map more than the concept, right? Like stop telling me about the beauty of digital marketing and just tell me how to kind of market, right? So a person could come to you, Adam, and tell you, hey, Adam, here's my product. This is my product. This is what I sell. And I want to double my lead generation from 1,000 leads a month to 20,000.
Yep.
What are we going to do? That's the kind of person that would come to you and go, and that's the kind of person you'd help. Yeah.
Years ago, I was in I was running a sales team for an event course, or like an event company. So we would run these 8-month courses, and I remember saying to the guy who ran it, I said, we're 4 months in and people aren't implementing, and it was starting to upset me. I was getting pissed off about it, and I was getting what are we doing wrong? What are we doing wrong? And that's awesome.
A truck just drove by, man. I'm
in your room by the sounds of it. But anyway, so I said, people aren't implementing, and the guy said, mate, Adam, what you got to understand is 5% of people come who are sincere about creating change in their business or life, and the rest, 95%, we're the entertainment industry. And so and so it kind of made me understand some people really want significant change and they want to commercialize a business, and some people watch football, or some people play basketball, and some people do business courses. It's what they do for fun. And it just made me understand people. So I suppose the point of differentiation is, if you want entertainment, then I'm not the guy. But if you're sincere about commercialization, then that's where I kind of step in. And I'm less interested in people feeling good about watching my content and excited, and more interested in them in getting excited about the profit they're making. So
we've talked about how to pick this strategist and what it is that you kind of do. We're winding down here, so I'm going to ask you this, man. What would you tell a person who's kind of feeling lost at the moment? Serious, like this person, let me give you context. This person is serious about, expanding the business, growing the business, but it's absolutely lost in terms of where do I get leads, and what do I do? What would you tell this person?
So if they're, again, sincere and they've got a business, assuming they've got a business and they're offering value, and there's a process. The first thing we need to look at is if leads aren't coming in and you've got something of value, then you need to look at the way you've articulated your offer. So before you do anything, you've got to get your offer right. Like, what are we actually offering people? And by offer, I mean, they come to me and they buy this, or they get this particular outcome. So that's the first thing. You've got to have your offer super clear. And then the second thing, once you've got your offer clear, it's about building assets. So you need a marketing asset that not only just gives you leads, but that kind of builds rapport, builds trust, etc., establishes credibility before you even talk to them. So the major asset that, I'm looking at assets. So a lot of people are blogging, and a lot of people doing videos, and a lot of people doing podcasts. But so they're getting a message out there, but the message then falls flat. It's like the message needs to go into a machine or an engine that gives people information about what you do and brings them to the point where they're ready to talk to you. So there's two main things that it really simplifies down to two things: your offer. Your offer and your engine. Offer an engine. If you don't have an engine, you need to build one. If you've got an engine and people aren't opting into it, then you need to tweak your offer. So those are the first two things. And the third thing I would say is, business is. I've never seen a campaign that can't be turned around. Wow. I've never once seen a campaign. I've never seen a business that is just. Well, actually, look, I've never had a client, put it that way, that can't be turned around. I've seen businesses that I'm like, God, that sounds like a terrible idea. But in 99% of the time, you can turn any business around by working on those two things: offer and engine.
Offer and engine, boom. That's Adam Sowden for you, man. Like, clear, simple. We'll slice through the BS and just get real. Just get real. Adam, it's that time of the podcast, man. You can plug yourself in here shamelessly, and at the same time, give some shout outs to the people that matter. 3, 2, 1, go. Thank you, Tom. Firstly, I'll start with my shout outs. I wanted to shout out to you because you're a good dude. I remember meeting you and hanging out with you in Manly. And it was fun. You meet someone, and sometimes in business you can sense people's agendas. And what I've loved about knowing you is that there's no agenda with you. It's just you just want to connect and you like people, and it's great doing business with you. So that's my shout out for today. Bro, thank you, man.
To plug myself. I mean, I don't know whether I want to plug myself, but if you want to check out my stuff, check out adamsowden.com, SOWDEN. There's a bunch of free stuff in there. Like I said, we're not for everyone. I mean, if you're still kind of, getting your feet in the marketing area, you're not sure whether you're ready to take off and, crush it, then, go and check out some other people's stuff. But when it's time, when you want to get shit happening and make some serious coin and quickly, and then you come and check me out. But adamsowden.com is that, and there's a couple of webinars and stuff in there, but check it out.
Well, we're going to stick all of that information on the show notes and at the bottom of this video. You can find the free stuff on that page, and if you want to reach out to Adam, there should be a contact form on his website as well.
There is.
I will not forget that time that we went surfing, dude. I was having such a hard time. This was the first time I was ever doing this thing. I was hesitant. I didn't even want to do it. I had to get into this really tight wetsuit, man. Made me feel like Orca. And then I had to walk, I don't know, was it half a mile or something? Maybe half a mile.
Something like that. Yeah.
With this really heavy longboard. And man, I remember you just run back to me and you said, "Hey man, let me help you out." And I just, I can't forget that. And I just also saw how cool you were. And maybe this won't be our last podcast together, bro. Maybe we'll get more detailed next time. Maybe we'll hit a very specific nail on the head. Maybe something that's a real problem. Because right now we're going broad and general. Maybe let's talk about a real problem next time, like one specific real case study or problem.
Definitely. And the other thing you could do, mate, is you could just ask people, who are listening to your podcast, what do they want to know? What problems are they struggling with? And, probably one of the things I'm most kind of valuable, one of the most valuable things I can offer is strategy. So, and if I understand what your guys need, then I can be as specific as you want. But if you ask them what they want, I'm happy to come back and give them my 2 cents.
Only when he's not surfing, everybody, or doing jiu-jitsu. Anyway, Adam Sowden on the show. Thanks, everybody. Thank you for listening. This has been great. This has been The Convo. Your host, Tom, with Adam Sowden. We out. Peace. Bye-bye.
See you, Tommy.
Dude, let me kill the